Hello. Wow. First time live. I already see Ceramic in the comments and Glenn. Hello, hello. Hello to whoever is here. If you guys can hear me, let me know because it's my very first time doing this and I have no idea how it's going. If you can hear me, there you go. Let's see. Hey, James. Okay. Let me know, can you guys hear me right now? Just say, hey, I can hear you. I can hear you, Charlie. Okay, awesome. Jenny, hi. Jenny, I've been thinking about you a lot. Okay. And Taro, thank you. Regine, James, awesome. It's so good to have you guys here tonight. Okay. Oh, awesome. Well, hi, Jenny, Jenny's sister. Hi, Linda. So good to see you guys. I've got some kombucha here with me tonight. Hi, Nick. All right. Got the popcorn, that's right. It's gonna be a good one for popcorn because literally what is happening on planet Earth right now is a little bit like a movie. I know the last year has been feeling exactly like a movie. There's actually was a movie that sort of had like a similar storyline to what happened, you know, with the whole COVID situation. But energetically speaking, this great conjunction, it's pretty amazing. So it's very exciting. I don't know if you guys have been feeling the energy, but I have definitely been feeling the energy really massively as we've been getting closer and closer to the conjunction. If you have, feel free to leave it in the comments. I definitely have been taking more time to go within the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't post last week. And just in general, I've been taking more time because the energy is shifting. And what we experienced in 2020 was basically the beginning. And because of this Saturn, Jupiter, now Saturn is the dominant energy in this conjunction, okay? And Jupiter is like the secondary energy. So basically what that means is, and I guess I'm gonna jump into it. I was gonna wait to jump into this, but I might as well jump into it because there's a few different things I wanna cover. And whatever I'm offering to you has come to me through channeling, has come to me through Seven, has come to me over the last few weeks and actually months as this has been building up. And so what does this mean? What does this mean for us? Okay, so Saturn is bringing, it always brings like a structured energy, okay? And there's a couple ways to go with structure. Structure obviously brings order, and order can be good. But if structure is too intense, there's too much control, it can be crippling, all right? So Saturn is basically aiding us into shifting into a brand new structure, okay? And this is not all bad, you know. Sometimes some people see it as like, oh, it's the old and the new. We are definitely shedding the old skin, for sure. That is happening, okay? Saturn is going to make sure of that. Now and Jupiter as well, because Jupiter brings in the fresh. But because Saturn is the more dominant energy, hi Kaja, that's what's going to really sort of set up this sort of the stage for it. And for the next year, Jupiter is going to be a very strong force, okay? So it's really, really important, and this is the key, is that Jupiter energy is going to really help speed up, okay, whatever energy we put forth, okay? So what is important to do if, let's say, you are driving a car and you know that the speed's gonna go up. Well, you want to make sure that you know what the hell you're doing if you're driving, okay? I remember when I first started learning how to drive and it felt so good to get behind the wheel and go fast. But when I was an experienced driver, I remember making mistakes. And so energy speeding up. So how do you become a better driver? And what does that even mean? Well, we basically have been gifted with incredible life force, okay? Hi, Sheila. Oh, thank you. I love you too. It's good to see you. All right. So energy, we've been gifted with amazing energy, okay? And our mind and our emotions and our body, these are all tools to allow us to basically play with this energy and what to do with it. So this is the time, and basically starting tonight, if you have not been doing this until the end of this year, would be a good time to every day, okay? Every day wake up and start to get clear on your intentions, okay? Because here's what's happening now is that, and you've already noticed it, the sort of what we would consider our leaders or the people sort of running the governments or whatnot, they have plans, okay? And their plans, they set them up year in advance, right? So they have intentions about how they want to move society and the world, right? And so for a lot of people who were not really exactly aware of their own intentions and how they wanted to live their lives and what they were thinking about, they sort of got caught up in this wave of what happened, right? The ones though that were ahead of it, and I know it's a lot of you, okay? That's why we're probably together, because there was a part of us that sort of was, you know what? I want to live more intentionally. Okay, I want to live more intentionally. And so when all of this stuff unfolded, it actually brought us together and it made us to even more aware of, well, what are my intentions? Who am I? Who am I really? And starting to remember who we are. So what's happening now with this energy completely shifting is that everything will be magnified. And unless we set clear intentions, we're either going to be pulled into the intentions of other people and other outside forces and our unconscious intentions, okay? Our unconscious intentions. Not, some of our unconscious intentions are good, but a lot of times our unconscious intentions are more like reactions to the way in which we were conditioned, okay? I don't know about you, but for me, and I notice for many people that I've known, the last few weeks have been very intense. I know for me, a lot of things came up from the past, okay? Vibrations that I hadn't cleaned up yet, that I sort of was like, oh, okay, now everything's all right, everything's all right. So you might notice this with yourself, and that's okay, all right? Because that's sometimes a lot of people say, you know, I want to feel good. I've been at this good feeling place, but oh boy, I'm not feeling so good right now. What's happening? All this stuff is coming up. Good, that's all right. Pay attention. Pay attention. What is it? What's the signal you are getting? Okay? Sometimes the signal is your ego saying, I'm afraid to grow. I'm afraid to change. I can't. That's a lot of it, right? Okay? Yeah, it can be absolutely very intense. Absolutely, James. It can be very intense because the ego wants to keep us where it's always been. And you're going to see this play out right now. This is going to intensify more because there's a lot of structural changes that are happening, okay? Society-wise. And so there's going to be a lot of resistance, okay? You're going to notice it even more, even with yourself. And take the time. It's okay. Take the time. If you have to slow things down a little bit, if you have to slow down your life a little bit, that's okay. The most important thing is to get clear on these intentions and to really tune up to become aware of your vibration first and foremost. Where you are, take a pulse, you know, like a vital, like, you know, where am I? Where am I really? And then to really be clear where do I want to be? Like really get clear on it, okay? And when you get more clear of how you want to be, and it doesn't have to be, a lot of people say, I want this goal met, and it's not really about goals. It's just being clear about how you want to feel in this journey, in this process of moving towards your goals or whatever it is that you want to create in the world, all right? Because that energy is going to magnify it. And so if you're going, okay, like 80 miles an hour, and you don't really know what you're doing, and your vehicle's not doing so well, and your wheels are shaking, and you're going so fast, and you're freaking out, okay, and you're just holding on for dear life, and you're just freaking out, you might end up sort of crashing into something. So it's okay to slow down a little bit, take a breather, okay, take a breather. Just like, wait a minute. How do I want to feel? How do I want to feel in this journey, okay? And it's okay. Yes, I agree, ceramic. The social and political situation is making it worse. But here's the thing with the intention, is because what the social political thing has is, what they have on their side is media, social media, all right? So anytime you turn anything on, okay, you're bombarded with messages. See, for me personally, I do check out. Yep, I don't watch the news. Now I do stay connected. I think it's important to stay connected what is happening. But oh, it can be so intense, okay? I like I said, this last week I completely cut off, because when you just become so, you allow these messages because you want to stay tuned up. Because see, when we care about what is happening, we want to stay tuned up. But the media is powerful, okay? That's why they call it a machine, because it's powerful. And it's also not just the media, it's also the social media, because other people sort of join in and they say, yeah, that's right, okay? So you really have to unplug to actually think for yourself and just say, you know what? I hear it. I hear what's happening. Okay. What does my inside really say? Okay. Sheila says, I meditated today. Yes. Very good. Naps. I love naps. What can I say? Yes, we are always manifesting, willing. Oh, I love that. I love that. Steve, the willingness. I actually, when I speak with people, I always say, are you willing? That's a big part of life. Like, how willing are you to be tuned up? How willing are you to be connected to your inner being, to that inner guidance? Yeah, it's important. See, we're always plugged into source, okay? And sometimes when we over plug into other outside sources of source, we can overwhelm ourselves, right? And so it's important to take the time to really stay connected to who we really are. And I have a feeling that most of you who are here, I'm a social person, but I love my alone time. I love that alone time. And I think it's so key. It is so key. Because here's the thing, speaking about rooting, Steve, this energy that we're shifting from, okay, we're entering into more the air element, okay? So we've been very much into the earth element for a while now. So we're entering into air element. Now, what's interesting about the air element is that this is the part that's going to speed up energy, but it's also the part that's going to bring a cerebral aspect to humanity in general, which is very cool because it's actually going to allow for a lot of creativity, okay? A lot of creativity, a lot of free thinking. However, here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot more free thinkers rising up, but there are going to be a lot more underground, because there's a lot of control that we're actually about to enter even more. I don't know if you've noticed it. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. I'm sure you've noticed it, because we're all living on the same planet Earth, is that the control is going to go up. So a lot of the free thinkers that are going to rise up, they're going to be more underground. And there's going to be, probably for the next 20 years or so, we're going to be feeling this sort of control rising up as we enter this more free thinking. Also, another thing that I wanted to mention, technology, right? There is going to be a speeding up of how technology evolves. And here's the light and dark of this. So one thing that I've been receiving that Seven has been saying is that they say technology will be a great aid in allowing humans to actually integrate the sort of non-invasive healing elements that are present in nature. However, us humans have this tendency to, and we have done this in the past, where we thought technology will solve everything, right? You know, this happened in Russia. This happened, I mean, it's happening all over the world right now. There's this idea of technology will solve everything. And yes, technology will help. AI is it's coming online. And there's going to be a light and a dark side. And what's going to allow it to keep it in the light and in the harmonious side is this spiritual connection, all right? Because this is the incredible gift, okay? This awareness that so many humans bring about. This awareness comes from our connection to our inner being, to nature, to the cosmos, okay? And this is really, really important. And that's why I love technology, okay? Obviously, that's why we can do this. We can get together. I'm in Brazil right now. I'm in southern Brazil. I know next month I'm going to be somewhere else. And I know so many of you are all over the world, right? So in that way, technology is really incredible. But like anything, it's important to remain humble, okay? It's important to remain humble and to realize that the greatest power that we have is coming from source, okay? It's coming from source. And when we realize that, there's a sense of both freedom and empowerment. And also realizing that we will not always have the answers, and that's right, okay? And as we enter this next age, it's really, really important to remember that. And another thing that's happening too is that even our spiritual practices are evolving, all right? Even our spiritual practices are evolving. Again, there's a light and dark side to it. There's a lot of people who will use spirituality as an escape, but there's many more people who are actually waking up and seeing the truth and doing the real work, okay? And doing the real work. If you're here, you're probably one of those people, because I know that whatever messages I share with you, sometimes I know they're not easy. Even the channeled messages, I know they're not easy. They always call on to us to be present and to take on that responsibility as creators. Yes, I agree. The freedom is really powerful. See, one good thing, if you are feeling a lot of powerful emotion come up right now and things from your past, that's good. Those are signals. Those are powerful signals coming forth, okay? It's your inner being saying, hey, line up, I'm here for you. If you're feeling dissonance, it's your source coming forth saying, hey, line up. There's so much more here for you, okay? There's so much more room for you to expand and to grow and to breathe. Oh, thank you, Kaja. It's so good to hear from you. Wow. And that's what allows us to connect. It is those moments when we really take a step back and we allow whatever comes up to be without judgment and say, hey, thank you. It might not feel good in the moment, but it's a signal, okay? It's a signal. Okay, so, miss you. I'm sure we'll see you again in another part of the world. Starting next year, I am changing my coordinates. I'm going to be leaving Brazil because I've been guided to go somewhere else. I don't know exactly where this place is, but wherever I land next, and I feel that the energy is powerful for transformation, I'm going to open invitation again, so whoever is ready to come out can come out and join us, okay? Because again, like I said, what's happening is that this cycle, this next cycle that we're entering, the core of it, the most powerful transformational core is going to be in the next 20 years, okay? However, we have strong Jupiter, and Jupiter, okay, Jupiter is playful, Jupiter is exciting, Jupiter is fresh. So you really, really want to make sure in this coming up time to really, yes, 20 years. Now, obviously, this especially the Saturn energy is going to be very powerful in the next 20 years. That's why the next 20 years, a lot of things are going to change in societies all over the world. I know we're really sensing it in the Western world, especially in the United States. Especially in the United States, it's going to change in the next 20 years. And it's not just about, you know, the United States as a country, the United States energetically, and in a lot of ways, it was a powerful country, as you know, especially with so many people drawn there and so many incredible things that happened there, but also things that weren't necessarily so incredible. There's going to be some balance brought back, but there's also going to be some, I don't want to say conflict, but contrasting forces, like in anything. The contrasting forces will be magnified. And the most important thing to remember right now, that what I want to say is that with this Jupiter energy being there, it's fresh, it's going to allow for those who are ready and for those who are listening to really make a huge vibrational jump, okay? To make a huge vibrational jump. What do I mean by this? So, going back to the beginning when I was speaking about intention. From now till the end of the year and into the new year, when you wake up every morning, and I do this, and this is really, really important, is take a pulse when you wake up every morning for where you are. Once you take a pulse and you sort of sense where you are, no judgment, take some time to be grateful, okay? And then take some time to choose something that you are sensing. You know what? I'm feeling resistance here, okay? I'm feeling resistance here. Something is off. And make a conscious choice to say, you know what? I want to transform this. And pinpoint a thought that you have about it. And it could be a pattern, a thought pattern, right? We usually have thought patterns. We usually don't have one thought. We might have one thought that's running in a loop with a bunch of other thoughts. And it creates a vibration, okay? And this vibration just runs and runs and runs. And that's our attractive force, right? That's what we are putting out into the world, okay? So right now, in this speeding up, especially with Jupiter being a strong force, is that whatever vibration we're giving out will be even more magnified. So every morning, take time, take a piece of pen and paper, and just do this for yourself, okay? This is the time to put the attention on you, okay? Really, 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 because so many of us are trained from a young age from adults to say, pay attention here, pay attention there. And we sort of take the attention away from that creative time, that play time. So it's really, really good to now bring this attention back to that play time, to that inner time. And even if you just do it for 10, 15 minutes a day, so you really can get clear, for one, to take a pulse where you are, pay attention to anything you'd like to transform, and set the intention, say, you know what? I want to transform the vibration that I have about this. And the more and more that you do this every day, well, one of two things are going to happen. One, your vibration is going to lift up, but as your vibration lifts up, your ego is going to start kicking in and just sort of say, hey, what are you doing? We're not used to feeling so good. We're not used to being so free. We're not used to so much abundance. Okay, this happened to me recently. I had an incredible amount of abundance pour into my life, and I noticed some old conditioning come up and say, whoa, this is too much, okay? So if you notice this too muchness comes up, okay, say, that's all right, okay? Just pay attention to it, but don't get caught up in it, all right? Because it's gonna start to come in and say, just sort of like sit on your shoulder and say, hey, you know? Thoughts matter, absolutely. Thoughts matter. But here's the thing. We say these general terms of thoughts matter and what you think about, but how do you actually transform a thought? Okay? How do you transform a thought? How do you do this? You do it intentionally every single morning. It's a process, okay? It's a process, okay? For some, it happens more quickly. For some, it takes more time. If it takes you more time, that's all right because it allows for more wisdom, okay, to take root. And I know there's a lot of light workers and healers in the space right now. So for those of you, this is really, really important because anytime you're working with someone, we hear this word fake it till you make it. Sure, that's part of it, but you really want to feel it, okay? You really want to become conscious and aware. And it's not about judging yourself if the thought patterns you're holding are not in a good place. That's all right. It's about letting go of that judgment and just every single day just saying, you know what? I set an intention today. I am going to transform this. Every day, wake up, okay? Yeah, you got to call out the ego. Yes, television, that's a huge one. That's a huge one. Yes, it is so, so key. Absolutely. Whatever we're exposed to. And you know what? It goes for television. It goes for the people that we're around and the conversations we have. Okay. This is really important. I noticed this with myself. Sometimes you might realize something really good, about the world, right? And then you want to talk about it. But sometimes you'll notice as you talk about it, the sort of vibration goes down a little bit because you realize, you know what? I've already talked about it. I've already figured it out. I can just let it go. So pay attention to this. If you're noticing something that you're realizing about the world, like, oh, wow, yeah, the media is putting out a lot of crap or lies out there. Once you realize it, I love this from Alan Watts, once you get the message, hang up. Once you realize something, you say, you know what? I got it. Okay. No more. Okay. Could the future, absolutely. Would future of humanity look better in Age of Aquarius? Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely it look better because we are lifting up vibrationally. Absolutely. The energy overall, the influence, the energetic influence of that is pouring into planet Earth is on our side. However, that's what I was mentioning, vibration. It is all about our vibration, okay? Because those who have a clear vibration and they're just moment to moment, just aware of it. And like I said, my electronics are going, yeah, absolutely. I've been having that happen all week, actually. The more and more intentional that you are about it, the quicker and quicker your vibration will rise, and the quicker and quicker your reality will begin to shift. And as more and more humans do this, that is how that collective ascension happening. But on an individual level, so many people are lifting up, okay? So many people. And actual communities, we're seeing this more and more and more. This is really key. However, even though for some people, this vibration, collective vibration will have an influence, okay? For others who are in a place of resistance, they will continue to uphold their old way of thinking more and more, and that's okay, all right? This is the key. It's just to be okay with that. It's just to be okay with that because there's a part of us that wants to say, hey, but please pay attention to the truth. This is true. Don't watch the news. Don't do this. Don't do that. That's all right. Everyone has free will, okay? How does one know if they are light work or starseed? What if it's just interested in this realm and not either? The most important thing is that, well, first of all, we all have a star seed within us, okay? Some people are incredibly sensitive and their soul mission is very clear to uplift, okay? It's very clear. And the more and more that you tune up to yourself, the more and more you'll just start realizing, you know, some people, they just wake up one day and they have this sense of, oh my God, I get it. I know I'm here to do light work, but not for everyone. And that's okay. All right. If you are a happy mother, in some ways you are a light worker. If you show up every day at any job that you have and you are uplifting yourself and you're uplifting what others, you are a light worker. Okay. For some people, light work means literally doing energy work, literally being sound healers. Okay. Just you being uplifting with yourself and others, you are automatically a light worker. Okay. So that's what's really good to remember. How is low vibration frequency? Raise your vibration to be the base of the mission to offer. Have been so low. All right, so here's the key with the low vibration. Interesting. It says Crazy Clayton says the chemtrails are so thick in West Virginia. Yes, the hologram. Here's the key. You can make anything you want of this reality, right? We do have the freedom. We have so much freedom that so many humans choose bondage, okay? And the way that we choose bondage is what? With our thinking and feeling. It's how we utilize these tools that we have been gifted with, okay? So it's important to remember, first of all, don't beat yourself up. If you wake up one day and you're feeling yucky, that's all right, because here's what happens with so many people, and that's how we're trained with reward and punish, right? And so many people, when they feel good, they say, oh, I'm feeling so good. They feel bad. They say, oh no, I'm feeling so bad. There's something wrong with me for feeling so bad. You're human, okay? All right? And a lot of us, all of us, have been conditioned one way or another. You want to just really figure out how you've been conditioned and that you know you have the power to transform that, okay? Every single day, moment to moment to moment to moment, okay? Yes. Yes, you absolutely can manifest the ability to quit your job. Absolutely. All right. See, when we really begin to pay attention to our thoughts and realize, oh, wow, I have the power to transform and create. In the beginning, it's a little bit overwhelming because you literally realize, wow, I have the power. I have the magic wand. And if you're not used to feeling this, it can be overwhelming. Okay. And so this kind of strength and power, we build on it in increments, okay? So little by little practice this, little by little practice this. Is it possible to burn negative thought patterns and scripts that keep playing? Oh, absolutely. See, DNA activation happens every time that you begin to shift thought patterns, okay? And you awaken more and more and more. That is when your DNA activates, okay? It happens in stages and steps, okay? Just like, you know, with Kundalini awakening, a lot of people have the physical symptoms, okay? They feel that energy, and then the integration happens in stages, okay? So it's the same thing with DNA activation. It's the same thing with the shifting of our thought patterns, okay? And in the beginning, it can be a little bit intense, especially as you are learning this process and you are practicing it and you are feeling it play out, okay, in your reality. But that's the beauty with what's happening now, is that energy is speeding up. So the more intentional that you are and the more focused that you are on those clear intentions, the more quickly your awakening and upliftment is going to happen. Okay, that's the key with this energy shifting up. I'm going to be forced to vaccinate soon for myself and do energy healings. All right, yes. I didn't feel anything different. I want. All right, here's the key. Here's the key. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that all of you are here and getting to share this with you, all right? I really want you to know this, okay? To me, you really are family, okay? We're all cosmic family. And this connection that we have, this unity that we have is really, really important. And here's the thing to remember. There are things happening in the physical sense that feel out of our control, so to speak, right? With the vaccination and, you know, whatever, staying within indoors and all this control. It's true. I remember in year 2001 sensing this and telling my friends and family and saying, hey, there is some things that are shifting up. and the control is going up in the physical world. I remember saying this to people and they'd say, oh, Charlie. And I'd say, no, I'm telling you the shifts that are happening, they want to shrink our freedom in the physical sense. But here's the thing. Sure, some of these things are happening, but the true freedom is within, okay? And the more and more that we line up with that, the more and more that we are guided to more personal freedom, okay? To more personal freedom. So it's really, really important to remember this, because it can seem sometimes like, oh, I don't have freedom. I have to do this thing. They're forcing me to take a vaccine. They're forcing me to do this and that, all right? So that can feel very stifling. And that's the key of being able to have clarity about observing the world out there, but also not being in reaction to it, all right? And because what that does, it allows you to be more clear-minded. And when you're more clear-minded, you can allow for that guidance to come through. And when that guidance comes through, you'll literally get light bulbs of information coming in, powerful information that literally will steer you in a direction where you realize, oh, wow, I am living really free right now, okay? I'm really living attuned right now, okay? So it's really important to remember that, because the Matrix wants to say, hey, there's nowhere else you can go. We got you, all right? Okay? But you do have the freedom, okay? And it starts within, okay? So it's really, really, no, the vaccine, here's the key. The vaccine will not destroy the DNA. It will not destroy the DNA. As a matter of fact, the vaccine will only, any change that it makes will not compare to any change that you can already make with your internal alignment. What do I mean by this? We've been speaking about this all night. Getting clear on those intentions, getting clear in those patterns, getting clear in the vibration that you are carrying, okay? That's really powerful, okay? This is really important to remember, because again, that's what the Matrix wants to say. See, when people are fearful about the vaccine, this is what the Matrix wants. It's like, oops, you're scared now. We got you, okay? Because what does that do? Fear? Sure, to some degree, fear can be a signal. But when you keep really being fearful, it begins to lower your vibration, okay? And what does that do? Now that is actually transforming your DNA, okay? See, this is really, really important to remember. It's really important to remember. That's why there's so many people who heal from, diseases that doctor will say, oh, there's no way you'll heal from this disease. But these people begin to shift their vibration. They begin to shift their internal chemistry organically in a natural way. And as their vibration shifts, their whole DNA begins to activate and they heal naturally, okay? So it's really important to remember this, okay? Is it that bad that I don't feel connected with other people? That's all right. When we are going through that internal work, it can be very, very intense. And because, see, the most powerful connection that we have is with ourselves. And as we work with that inner connection and we heal that, it'll be much easier to connect with others. I've got complicated thoughts about the vaccine and value of perspective. Yes, absolutely. No, I completely understand this. And it's really, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. If your vibration is a certain level, nothing will affect you. This is so true. And this is sort of the secret, and this is the toughest thing for so many humans to master, because from a young age, we have been trained not to pay attention to that vibration, but to pay attention to the world out there, and not to stay necessarily attuned with who we are, but to stay attuned to what the world out there wants us to be and how to be, okay? So it's very courageous. It's very courageous to live tuned up to your inner truth and to even discover what that is and to allow that to evolve, That's really, really important. That's the state of flow, okay? That's the state of flow, because the Matrix is set up to say, pay attention here, pay attention here, pay attention here. Okay, what am I doing right now? What's this? What's this? What happens if I keep doing this? You get hypnotized, all right? You get hypnotized. Well, that's what the Matrix is doing, okay? It wants us to be hypnotized. It's saying, hey, pay attention here. So that's what this unplugging is saying. Okay, I get it. The Matrix says, I have to do this. Okay. Okay. I live in this physical environment. I chose to be here. I enjoy this play. I enjoy the contrast. But I soon will, as I become intentional and as I set on my path, I soon will become more and more aware of my truth and sort of dehypnotize myself from the dream of the matrix, and wake up, right? As a lot of you, as all of you who are here are waking up. And the more and more that you wake up, the more and more you say, it is almost like waking up from a hypnosis. You're like, whoa, what was that all about? Whoa, I can't believe I believe that and I believe that. I can't believe I gave so much of my thoughts and thinking and energy to this and that. You know, one thing I've been feeling more and more of is this weight off my shoulders. And often when we do the internal work and we let go of those heavy thought patterns and those low vibrational thought patterns that have been keeping us down, what happens? You feel like a weight taken off. And there's literally, you're lifting off, your vibration is uplifting, and you just feel lighter. Okay, so this is also this air element, right? This lifting up, lifting up. Okay, so withdrawal. Yes, absolutely. You know, as you shift your vibration, what happens is, you know, you definitely, the people you'll be around will begin to shift. Absolutely. You won't even have to consciously do it. You'll just notice, you'll get to places and you'll even hear conversations and you'll just sort of be like, I don't even connect with this anymore. So, okay, so let's see. Isabel says, I have an issue with being here right now and wanting to go home because I don't feel good or safe here. How can I deal with a body that feels intoxicating and foreign to me? All right, very good. So a lot of people get that feeling. They say, I want to go home. Okay, so here's the thing. Home isn't here. It's within. Okay, it's within. All right, so you want to get connected, okay? You want to get connected. This is the key. It's connecting with yourself, connecting. And the more and more that we connect within, the more and more we connect without. See, this is a big, big part of I know my life is connection, okay? You know, when you see someone and they say, you know, the eyes are the windows to the soul, you really see someone and you don't just see the cover, the book and all that. You sense their heart, you sense their soul, okay? So you want to start sensing yourself more and more, okay? This is the most important thing. The more and more that you connected within, okay? Yes. How can you call in your soul family? That's the key. See, this is what's happening right now. We're calling onto each other, okay? And that's because we've all at some point or another, especially lately, have made a choice to connect, okay? Yeah, absolutely, with real technology, okay? So connection. And here's the thing with how this leads to technology. Absolutely, as that's the side of technology. And this is something that Seven has expressed to me, where they say when technology is aligned, that it has this aligned spiritual aspect to it, it's very sustainable. And in terms of health, it is also in terms of health, there's the technology that is spiritually aligned, that is aligned with the cosmos, is not radioactive. All right, it is not the technology that will that sucks life force. Okay, it is actually going to be able to allow us to uplift. It is going to allow our bodies to also evolve. Okay, absolutely. This is something that's going to happen. Hi, Peter. It's so good to see you. Hello, hello. And so that this is the light side of the technological advancement that is coming. Now, like I said, there's going to be a dark side as well. But the thing is, it's as the ones who are ready to really and intentional about uplifting, what's going to happen is the ones that are shifting to 5D, okay? You literally are going to be living in a parallel dimension that is going to be separate from others, okay, who are on a different dimension. This is literally happening. It's been happening for a while, but it's going to become very pronounced in the next 20 years, okay? It's going to become even more pronounced in the next 20 years. That's why I said this next year, you really want to leverage this Jupiter energy this fresh, creative Jupiter energy to really make those internal transformations, okay? And others, okay, so Isabel says, so you mean connecting to the soul within, and others, then safety, love, and everything will be there. I'm sorry, those are basic questions, but yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's all about the basics, actually. It's all about the basics because, you know, oftentimes we hear things, right? We hear so much information. You receive wisdom, okay? But it's not until we really feel it deep within, literally in our bones, in our beings, and we get to experience it, that we get that aha, like, oh, I know what this means. I've heard this so many times. I know what this means, you know? And this is so important. That's why that connection with yourself, the relationship that you have with you and you, that's the setting point. That's the setting point for all the other relationships that you have, okay? Can you hear your channeling? Can I hear my channeling? You know, I feel the energy coming through, and sometimes I'll pick up glimpses, but no, not usually. I just sense the energy coming forth. And as a matter of fact, I will be doing a live with channeling coming up soon, probably in the next few weeks. So if you guys are interested in being part of that, and if you have questions, I will announce it soon when it happens. And really, no hospitals. Okay. The system is designed for the billionaires to stay billionaires. Absolutely. There is financially, absolutely, there is a financial reset that is happening. There is a financial reset that is happening. And that's why I'm mentioning staying tuned up and staying aware. It is something that, you know, when I work very closely with people, especially the ones who I work with who come here and we speak one-on-one in person, we cover a lot of this because there is a lot of resets that are happening right now. And the system, it's not that the system is set up, you know, we have this saying of the rich stay rich and the poor get poor. It's not necessarily that. It's very much vibrational. It's just what happens is a lot of people do have struggle with shifting their vibration with upliftment. You know what I mean? Vibrational upliftment. And this is why I mentioned this, because this affects a lot of things. This affects a lot of things. You know, a lot of people think like, oh, if I'm just happier, it's just about to be happier. The truth is that when we are uplifting and switching our vibration and we are activating our DNA, it literally activates more parts of our brain. And it really allows us to become smarter. It allows us to become more in tune with our environment in a lot of different levels, okay? And this is the key. It allows us to become more present, and it allows us to become even more tuned up with what is happening so we stay ahead of it, all right? And this is the key right now. You want to stay ahead of it, okay? Yes, absolutely. Cryptos, yep, I highly recommend that as well. Maybe I might even do a separate video on crypto. I highly recommend ceramic, as you mentioned. Crypto is going to very, very powerful. It's going to be crypto is going to be very, very important as we enter this heightened digital age. Absolutely. And as technology advances, crypto is going to be a very huge part of it. It really is. Lauren says it's an amazing time to be alive in this way. It absolutely is. And we absolutely chose this particular time to be here. But let me say, it's also going to be a powerful time. It's also going to be a powerful time, meaning not everything is going to be dandy, okay? It is going to be a little bit stormy, for sure, for sure. That's why you, like I mentioned, every single day you want to be intentional, because in the physical sense, the matrix, okay? The matrix, the systems being reset and all that, you want to stay ahead of it. You want to stay ahead of it. Yeah, definitely. I would look into crypto for sure, for sure. Wild beaver. That's funny. Start to stay in this place of empathy. Oh, absolutely. It's a much lower vibration so easily. Again, basic, absolutely. You know what? It's a daily practice. It's a daily practice. You know, that's why a couple months ago I announced, you know, opening my space to bringing people in close, because we dove in deep. And here's the key about lifting up your vibration. When you lift up your vibration, you know, a lot of people say, oh, it's just, I'm feeling bad, I'm just going to feel good. Oh boy, it can be intense at times, because sometimes to feel good, you got to work through some nasties, what feels like some dark emotion, you know. When you're in apathy, which is when a lot of people are before waking up, and when you're waking up, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of awareness, okay, but there's also a lot of fear. And then from fear, you move to anger, okay, because you realize, oh my God, what have I been living? Oh my God, what the hell is this freaking matrix? It makes you upset. It makes you angry. Also in the personal sense, because, you know, so many of us are empaths. We also realize, wow, I've been giving my power away. Wow, I was giving so much of myself to so many of the wrong people, right? Or like that anger comes in, then that blame, okay? So you got to work through that, okay? So, and as you work through that, you're unlocking a lot of energy, and it gets intense. And then from there, there's like a lot of overwhelmment, okay? Like, whoa, you feel exhausted. And then from it's doubt, because you feel like, man, is this going to be over? When am I going to feel amazing all the time? All this place that so many people are talking about, this place of enlightenment, but that is enlightenment, okay? As you're lifting up vibrationally, as you're working through these emotions, you are lightening up, okay? You are lightening up the load. That is enlightenment, okay? Enlightenment is not a destination. It's this daily process, okay? And as you go from that, and as you slowly go from, as you move through these emotions and you get to a place of hope, you start to realize, wow, okay, maybe there's something here, okay? So this is what this process is, okay? So I'm going to be, when I work with people one-on-one, this is what we work through, this process, okay? This guidance, because it can feel overwhelming in the beginning. And it can feel so, often you feel blind, okay? As you're waking up, you feel blind to your own, we have a lot of blind spots because of our conditioning, okay? So it can be very overwhelming. So the key is to remember that it's a process, okay? It's a process. And anytime that you lift up vibrationally, it doesn't mean that you go from fear to love, you know, in a matter of minutes. Well, sometimes for some people it can happen. That's why people sometimes will choose to do substances, because for the time that they are on these substances, they feel a sense of relief and that resistance lowered. But when you do this work intentionally, that's the real work, okay? And this is what we do when I work with people one-on-one. And I will start, I'm considering doing like a group process. So any of you who are actually really intentional about lifting your vibration, and not just lifting your vibration, but working emotionally through all that, that crumb and that yuck, and truly lifting up and having the tools to do it for yourself on a daily basis. This is something that is really important that I would like to bring forth to so many of you. I went off on that a little bit because it's really, really important, you know, because there's so much sometimes surface talk about lifting up and uplifting our vibration. So what does it really mean, you know? And it's doing that inner work. Oh, thank you, Sheila. True, I'm so angry all the time. Isabel says, yes, anger is a big part sometimes of lifting up from that place of being shut down and depression to anger. And anger feels good, and we want to just lift off from that anger, okay? We want to lift off to the next place, okay? We want to get past that blame that comes next, okay? We want to get past that feeling of overwhelmment and frustration and disappointment. We want to get to that hope, absolutely. Will Matrix end one day? Yes, and the truth is that the matrix is ending for those who are really waking up, okay? A lot of people are completely living on parallel realities. This is so true, guys. The truth is that there are so many people right now living on parallel realities and really unplugging from the matrix, okay? And it's possible for everyone. I'm out of my golden milk. We use milk instead. All right, let's see. Oh, love you, Kasha. Get stuck in desire. That's all right. James says, I sometimes get stuck in desire. Well, desire is part of life, right? We're all here because of desire, let's face it. So that's fine. Desire is what allows us to set things in motion, okay? We want things, we desire things, that's all right. The thing is, we want to just really clean up that vibration that gets in the way between our desire and what we desire, and what allows us to become aligned, and then to manifest and attract the components of that desire into our lives. All right, so that's okay. So anyways, there's incredible things happening vibrationally, but it is all up to us. All right, we got the power. We got the power, and to take that responsibility it can feel overwhelming at times, because it's not responsibility of just, we're so trained to go to work, to go to school. But even if we quit those, okay, and I've been there, and I know some of you have been there, where you quit those and you're really say, what am I showing up for? I don't even know, because I've never practiced showing up for myself. Okay, so what is that like, to show up for yourself, right? When you're really showing up to say, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here to get to know myself. I'm here to get to know who I am, what I'm about. And that's when we really get to also know what the world is about. And that's when we really get to connect with others in a more truthful ways. When the connections stop being surface, or about, oh, I'm going to get something from this person or that person. They really get to be about, hey, I feel you, really. I feel you in my heart. And that's where the power is. That's where the real food is, I love the experience of sitting around a table and eating with people. And it's not even about the food that we're eating, but it's because oftentimes the only time where we'll put our phones down, and we'll say, hey, this is so nice to feed ourselves both with food, but also vibrationally, I love that. I love that experience. So yes, nature, absolutely. It's really, really important. It is important to unplug from society, because that's the thing. When we unplug, is we realize that, wow, there is certain social structures and things that have been set in motion that are don't necessarily fulfill the soul, and can be kind of jarring and intense. And it's not about like not having fun or connecting with others. It's just about having a brand new kind of connection, a connection that's not just dumb, but it's not dumb. I meant numb. That's not just numb, where you're just surface connecting with others, but it's really real, and it's genuine and it's vulnerable, right? And you're allowing parts of you to come forth. And this is what we want to do with that connection with ourselves, to be genuine and kind with ourselves, to say, hey, wow, I see you in there. I feel you in there. Hi, Anna. Okay, so, oh, thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. So much love to you. Oh, it's so good to be here with you all. Yeah, seeing the mask slip off. I will share a fantasy with you guys. I have a secret fantasy. I haven't shared this with anyone. I have this fantasy of this day when, how the Berlin Wall fell. I have this fantasy that one day people just take their mask and just set them on fire, and we'll have like a great, mask burning party. So I don't know if anybody else has had this. And I think this fire energy, this air energy will sort of fuel that a little bit. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Peter. Oh, it's so good to be here with you. For the whole, yes, I feel it as well. The energy is amazing, and it's gonna be intensifying more and more. So hold on, okay? Hold on, wheel. And like I said, if you guys are feeling that energy intensify or internal things come up, it's okay to slow down and focus on that connection with yourself. Okay, that is so key. That is so key right now, because the matrix is set up to want to feed on our energy. And for the empaths, we're sort of, we want to open up and let it in, right? So we really want to get tuned up and clear about that connection, so we know when we are allowing things in, we know like, hey, this is for real. This is something that is going to fuel me. And when I am fueled, my connection with myself and my community is fueled, and then my community is fueled. That's really, really key. And this is This is what this is about. And I'm going to be wrapping this up soon, but I really wish to be, and I'm sure at some point, so many of us will connect physically where we can all hold hands and transmit this physical energy with each other. But I think it's happening even digitally. Again, this is one of those, the light side of technology that allows us to do this transmission of energy. And yeah, I want to take a moment to really feel this with you right now. Wow. I literally feel my heart's like expanding. Beautiful, beautiful. Force. Wow. So to wrap this up, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you. So yes, the chimes, the chimes. So Jenny mentioned the chimes. David, the other cosmic family member I travel with, always travels with these amazing wind chimes. And it's just one of those beautiful things, you know, when you are in a space and there's some wind and you're always hearing the wind chimes. It's so wherever we go, we're bringing these wind chimes. No matter where in the world we're going, we're bringing these wind chimes. Yes, okay, everyone. So Sheila said, I almost thought 7 was coming through. Absolutely. You know, when I, oh, why were you chosen for channeling? You know, it's not, I wouldn't say I was chosen for channeling. I basically allow the energy to come through. And that is all. I always say I get the hell out of the way, literally. That's the biggest thing. And we're all channelers in that way. We're all, the moment that, you know, I always say, no matter what you are doing, when you're in that state of flow, you're channeling source energy, all right? You're channeling source energy. And, oh, because you're awesome. Yes, that's the key. That is the key, remembering who we are. Oh, and you know what? And it's all right the moments that we don't. It's all right in the moments that we sort of get that we get confused. That's okay too. That's the thing with connecting with ourselves, because we find real kindness. I don't know how to find the flow. All right, so I will be speaking more and more about this state of flow. This is so key, because you know, this state of flow, that's the thing. It's a work in progress. Okay, it's a work in progress every single day. And that's what I was mentioning about intentions and waking up every morning. Okay, I find that the morning is the most important time to set the tone. Okay, to set the tone. And so here are 3 things. Okay. And I've mentioned this before, obviously breathing is one of them, but here's 3 other things that you can do each morning, okay? Grab a piece of paper and pen or a journal. This really helps, because the moment we write things down, it just does something for our brain, okay? Because we are in physical form, it's important to engage that brain of ours, that tool we've been given. So here's the key. When you wake up each morning, take a pulse for where you are, okay? Like a vibrational tone, okay? And just say, oh, you know, where am I? Okay, where am I? Where am I feeling today? Okay, and just say, okay, this is I am where I am, whatever it is that you're observing, and just set an intention. I mentioned this in the beginning, and I'll because this is so important to find that state of flow, and set an intention. Say, you know what? I'd like to transform whatever this thing that I'm observing, that if it's something that's just sort of bothering you or something you want to improve, and just say, I really want to transform this. I want to shift it. Okay. And choose a thought about it that you have, and say, you know what, I want to shift it to a better feeling thought, and find a better feeling thought. Okay. Okay. And recognize, how would it feel like if I transformed this to something that felt really good? You know, what would it feel like to me? And really plug into that feeling. And what helps you plug into that feeling is gratitude, a state of gratitude. Okay. You say, oh, you know what? And I feel really good. We often feel really good when we recognize things that we're grateful for. Okay. That begins to shift our vibration. So this is really key. And as you start doing this more and more and more, here's one thing that you realize, is that you realize you have the power to get into this flow state. And a lot of time, what keeps us from the flow state all the time is resistance. Okay. And what resistance is just these thought loops that run in our head, and we're able to sort of pinpoint them, we can begin to transform them. And the more and more that you do that, the more and more it's just like you are begin to organize a room. You know, when you've had that when you've sort of cleaned up your room or your space, or somebody else did it for you, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And all of a sudden you just feel like, wow, I feel so good to be in this clean and organized and nice smelling room. That's what starts happening with your mind. Okay. You start to reorganize your mind, and you start to enter into this sense of flow, because your mind is now a tool. Okay. And when you begin to organize your mind, that connection with your soul becomes more and more clear. And that's when you're in that state of flow. Okay. And some days you're just not in that state of flow. Some days you're just tripping over yourself. That's all right too. Okay. That's all right too. I'm so happy, Ceramic, you also found this channel, because you know it's really about us finding each other. Even for myself, my connection with all of you is so important. Is so important. And he agrees, or she agrees. That dog agrees with us. He's saying, hey, I'm here too. I'm part of this connection as well. And actually, animals are a huge part of this connection. They're a huge part of this upliftment, actually. You know, one of the things that is happening on planet Earth, as more and more people are becoming connected and actually, you know, to connecting with animals, to rescuing animals, to bringing more love, that's making a huge difference on this planet. Okay, it's making a huge difference for us humans as well. Oh, thank you for your support. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I hear you. I feel you. I see you. I really do. I really do. You know, some of you I'm connected to in terms of like we speak more often. And I wake up each day sometimes when I haven't replied to messages, and I'm always like sending vibrational messages, telepathic messages. And I always say, oh, you know what? I haven't had time to reply to this and this person, but you know what? I know they feel it, because I am communicating with them all the time. And I'm sure some of you have that same thing where you're just like, you know what? I haven't talked to this person, but I'm so vibrationally connected to them. I'm telepathically communicating with them all the time. I can't stop caring about others. I think it's holding me back. Absolutely. That's a big part, because that is the way, again, I come back to this training, because that's the thing that we begin to release as we uplift more and more and more. And the thing is, it's all right to care about others, meaning when we have a big heart and we want to connect, of course we care about others because we care. Okay. So pay attention to that care and put the attention on that, being like, oh, I care. So I want you to become aware of, like, really becoming aware of caring about yourself, caring about your vibration. Okay. It's okay to care. It's just, what are you caring about? You know, it's okay to care. Be really aware. Oh, am I really caring about myself first and foremost, in that connection that is allowing me to feel good? Yes. Oh, that's good. And it's okay to care about others. You know, I deeply care about others. I care about others a lot, but I care about others in such a way that it's like, hey, I care about you. Not so much of what you think about me, but I care about you as a being. I care about your well being. Okay. And the more and more, oh, hi, game over. Hi, Charlie. How's your day been? You know, it's been a really lovely day actually because I was so excited to connect with all of you for the first time live all together that there was just such a sense of, oh, wow. I felt so fortunate to be able to connect with all of you. Absolutely. See, it's about caring, but it's what we care about. You know, sometimes people say, you know, stop caring what others thought of me. Absolutely. You can stop caring about others think of you because you start caring more about what you think about you, okay? And not what you think about you is in the way that you're going to be presented to the world out there, but are you really caring about yourself? Are you really hearing yourself? Are you really connecting with yourself? Yes. Awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so glad, Kaja. It's so good to see you here. I went through that same thing, youngest of 6 children. Wow, I had to walk away completely and spend so much time alone. Yes, you know, that is a big part of this. When we are healing and we are lifting up our vibration, absolutely, it is that time within. And sometimes, you know, that time within can happen when we are around others, right? When you're around others, but you're really connecting within. That's amazing, Peter. 1 a.m. Wow. Some late time partying. Care too much in the sense that it holds me back from doing what I want to do. Absolutely. See, because that's what I'm saying. You got to care about you first and foremost. And when you're caring about you first and foremost, okay, that is when you're really connecting within, lifting up your vibration, okay? And that's when you start to say, you know what? I really want to do this. You know what? I don't need to do that. I want to be here right now. I don't need to be there. So it can be a thing because you don't want to be judged in a negative way. So you can't be authentic because you don't want to be judged in a negative way. And the truth is that we're always going to be judged, okay? That's all right. That's just part of the matrix, okay? And that's what I'm saying. As we shift our vibration, we begin to live in a parallel reality. Okay, some people in the matrix will judge us, but we're literally on a complete vibration that we're not even going to be thinking about them anymore because you're literally on a completely different vibration. You don't even think about that person anymore. And so make caring about you the most important thing ever. And you know, it's not just about being this thing of being selfish. It's a good kind of selfish because that's when you actually begin to really care about others in a really authentic way because you don't see others for whatever surface things. You begin to really see their heart, and that's the key. When you really begin to see someone's heart, that's when you make that real connection. That's what it's about. Absolutely. You know, the ego, whatever you want to call it, the ego or the judge. When I connect with 7, they call it like this inner judge that was basically activated when we were young in the way that we were trained. Is that, yeah, when we are doing this work, how can we break the matrix? We do it one by one by one by one. One by one by one by one. That's how we break the matrix. As we begin to personally tune up to that inner voice and we plug into that, okay, and we begin to engage with the world in a completely different way, that's when we begin to break the matrix, okay? It's like, you know, we literally unplug from it and so it can't feed on us anymore, okay? I'm so glad, Isabel, that you're learning for once and for all. Yeah. Here's the thing. It is happening, and this is what this energy is doing. It is allowing for this matrix to break quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. And that's the key with us being tuned in because we're contributing to it, all right? Every single one of us. And my oldest son is architect. All right. No, that's a great question, this excellent question. Actually, I want to save that and bring that in a channeled message, because that is an excellent question. That is an excellent question. And very briefly, I'm going to cover it up, but I believe that 7 will be able to answer that in a much more clear way. But one of the things that they say all the time, they say that when we live tuned up to a conditional environment, we will look at our conditions and let our conditions dictate how we want to feel, instead of making that choice within of how we want to feel and choosing to see the light, choosing to invite the light, choosing to be the light. I know so many people say, oh, that sounds so honky-dory. I've experienced that, and I know it's not always easy, but that's how we do it, all right? And in the process of doing that, we start to clean up our vibration more and more. And it doesn't become about us saying, well, this is what's going wrong in my life, that's what's going wrong in my life. It's about saying, hey, you know what? I make this choice to wake up in a state of gratitude and to practice this every day, no matter what my conditions are. That is a state of judgment, is when we say, we make a list of, this is what's wrong in my life, this is what's wrong in my life, this is what's wrong in my life, right? That's living conditionally, okay? But when we begin to within make that choice every day to choose the light, to be present with source and the energy that is bringing forth in that state of appreciation, okay, that is so huge, okay? That is the practice. That is the practice, okay? But I still want to bring 7 forth, because there's so many amazing questions that you are all bringing forth that I think could be answered in a much more clear way. Good idea, channeling about keeping your vibration. Okay, absolutely. That's so hard. Yes, absolutely. Your energy goes where your focus is, absolutely. And to practice that focus, that's the key, right? That's the key. And like, as I mentioned, that's a daily practice. All right, everyone, I almost want to hang out here all night with you. And I wish you were all here. We would be drinking kombucha or golden milk tea or whatever you like to drink, and burning us some incense and holding hands and really connecting. It seems like you're saying we. Yes, absolutely. Our conditions, we really let our conditions create our reality, because we put so much focus on our conditions. I do it, and I wake up every day when I'm 100% focused on my conditions. Oh boy, the judge, the ego, whatever you want to call it. Oh, it will give you so many reasons to say, yeah, that's why you should feel miserable, because this is what's wrong, this is what's right. But when we shift that and we consciously choose what we want to focus on and how we want to feel, and this is what community is so important. This is why community is so important. And one of the things that I'd like to bring forth is to bring forth a better space for us to connect, because that is so key in this process. Oftentimes it feels like, hi, Nikki, hi, Tina. It feels like we're alone, and it's like, how do I do this by myself? And the truth is that we're not alone. We're greatly supported. Even vibrationally, we are greatly supported. All right, I tell people all the time, you have incredible angels, even ghosts, like good ghosts, on your side, okay? Every single day. And when we spend even a few moments being in a state of appreciation, intentional about shifting or about a vibration, we are literally can allow those energies to help us, to give us guidance, because we are greatly supported. You have no idea how incredibly supported you are vibrationally. All right, so trust that, trust it more and more and more. Okay. Even and this is what I mean, not just in the spiritual sense, but even physically speaking. Okay. Even physically speaking, we are so supported, meaning when you set an intention, if you need something physically in your life and you trust and you are in the state of appreciation and you wake up every day doing a little bit of this inner work, trust me, things will come to you. Things will come to you. But sometimes, that inner judge, that ego, whatever you want to call it, comes towards. It's like, oh, who do you think you are? What are you doing? You just say, hey, you know what? Thank you very much, but I am so supported, and I'd like to let this other voice come in. All right, so put your focus on that, because we are incredibly supported, and there's incredible gifts that we are given each and every single day. Each and every single day, there's incredible gifts that we are given, and I feel it right now. You know, sometimes when we get so caught up in just conditions, and then we take some time to be grateful. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get that feeling of, it's almost like tears of joy, where you realize, like, wow, it's amazing. It's amazing what's available to me that I'm blinding myself to because I'm just focused on some conditions, you know? So remember that. Remember that place, all right? That connection, that place of kindness within for yourself, okay? All right, everyone. It is time to wrap this up. Thank you. I feel so much gratitude for you. I really do. You mean so much to me. Every single night before I go to bed, I think about you. I do. I think about you, cosmic family, and I send you energy. I send you love, and I feel that love returning. I do. I feel so many of you like sending that love, and it's like overwhelming sometimes, but in a really beautiful way. So thank you. And oh, that's so cool, Carol. Oh, that's so amazing. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that'd be amazing. Absolutely. Wow. You know, it's so funny. I always fantasize about that. This beautiful place where people who really love and know about animals are there taking care of them. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. All right. Okay. Yes, dance party. That'd be awesome. Yes, and Jenny, you can be the DJ. That'd be really cool. Dance party. All right, everyone. So much love. Hi, Zach. It's so good to see you. Wow, all the way from Scotland. That's so cool. All right. Thank you, everyone. Big, big hug. This is a powerful time. It's a powerful time. Set your intentions every single day. All right. Every single day when you wake up, set your intentions, because energy is speeding up. Saturn is there for the structure part, and Jupiter is there for the play and creative part. So that is such incredible energy for powerful creation. All right, that combination. So love you, love you, love you. Michelle, Anna, Nick, Jenny, oh, Ronnie, Kaja, Saint Move, Green, Cyber. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Ciao. I will see you again very soon. And next time I will let myself out of the way and bring 7 through. All right.